Genius is 1% talent and 99% hard work. This statement couldn't be truer for the man we're exploring today, Albert Einstein. The name itself has become synonymous with brilliance and intelligence. But what do we really know about this iconic figure? Was he simply the wild-haired physicist who redefined our understanding of the universe, or was there more to his story? Imagine a single mind revolutionizing our understanding of the universe, challenging established beliefs, and redefining the very fabric of space and time. That mind belonged to none other than Albert Einstein. Born into a modest family in the late 19th century, this unassuming child would grow up to become one of the most influential figures in science. He was a genius who transcended the boundaries of his discipline, impacting not only physics but the world at large. But how did a young boy who once struggled in school become the face of modern physics? What were the pivotal moments that transformed him from a quiet thinker into an icon whose very name is synonymous with genius? In this documentary, we take you on an extraordinary journey through the life of Albert Einstein. We'll explore his early years, where his curiosity and fascination with the natural world were first ignited. We'll dive deep into his revolutionary theories that reshaped the scientific landscape, and we'll examine the personal struggles and triumphs that defined his character. Get ready to uncover the lesser-known stories of Einstein's life, his challenges, his passions, and his relentless quest for knowledge that led him to unveil some of the most profound secrets of the universe. From the groundbreaking theory of relativity to his role in the development of quantum mechanics, Einstein's contributions laid the foundation for many of the technological advancements we benefit from today. But his legacy goes far beyond equations and theories. It encompasses a deep moral philosophy, an unyielding advocacy for peace, and an unshakable belief in the power of human intellect. So, sit back and join us as we unravel the life of Albert Einstein, a journey through time and space marked by brilliance, perseverance, and an insatiable quest for understanding the world around us. If you're ready to be inspired by one of history's greatest minds, keep watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating biographies on the Bio Network. Albert Einstein, the man who would change our understanding of the universe, was born on March 14, 1879 in Ulm, a city in the Kingdom of Württemberg, part of the German Empire. He came into a world on the brink of industrial transformation, where science and technology were rapidly advancing. Born into a middle-class Jewish family, Albert's upbringing was steeped in both intellectual curiosity and cultural values. His father, Hermann Einstein, was an ambitious businessman who initially worked as a feathered salesman before venturing into the nascent electrical industry. Hermann co-founded a company with his brother Jakob called Elektrotechnische Fabrik J. Einstein C. They focused on providing direct current (DC) electrical lighting systems, a burgeoning technology of the time. This entrepreneurial spirit set the stage for Albert's exposure to scientific ideas and engineering concepts from a young age. Albert had one sibling, a sister named Maja, who was born in 1881. The two shared a close bond throughout their lives, with Maja often acting as a confidant and support system for her brother during his tumultuous career. In the early years, Einstein's family moved to Munich, where Hermann and Jakob established their electrical engineering company. The business initially thrived, riding the wave of the industrial boom, but the competitive nature of the market soon posed challenges. Despite these financial difficulties, the Einstein household was intellectually stimulating. Hermann's focus on electrical innovations and Pauline's dedication to cultural education fostered a unique environment that encouraged young Albert's budding curiosity. At just 5 years old, Albert experienced a pivotal moment that would shape his thinking forever. His father showed him a simple magnetic compass. For most children, this would be a mere toy, but for Albert, the sight of the needle mysteriously pointing north sparked a profound realization. He later described this moment as the first encounter with a deeply mysterious force of nature that guided his passion for physics. This fascination with invisible forces would become a central theme in Einstein's scientific journey. He was particularly struck by the idea that something unseen could have a tangible effect on the physical world, a concept that would later play a crucial role in his work on theoretical physics. As he entered formal education at the Leupold Gymnasium in Munich, Einstein faced challenges adapting to the rigid, authoritarian style of teaching prevalent in German schools at the time. The focus was on rote memorization rather than fostering creative thought. Although he excelled in mathematics and showed an extraordinary ability to solve complex problems, Einstein was often seen as a misfit. His teachers found his questioning nature troublesome, as he would frequently challenge their conventional methods. Interestingly, despite being a top student in math, young Albert struggled with other subjects like languages. His nonconformist attitude and dislike for the school's regimental structure led to misunderstandings about his capabilities, giving rise to the myth that he was a poor student. However, this was far from the truth. Einstein was simply a deep thinker who needed a different approach to learning. In 1894, when Albert was just 15, the economic pressures of running their business forced the Einstein family to relocate to Italy. They settled in Milan, leaving Albert behind to complete his education. The loneliness and dissatisfaction with the rigid schooling system prompted Einstein to leave school without a diploma. He made a bold decision to pursue his education independently, a choice that marked the first step in his unconventional academic journey. Imagine a young man, just 16 years old, standing at a crossroads in his life, choosing to abandon traditional schooling. It's a risky decision, one that many would fear, but not Albert Einstein. This daring move was just the beginning of a series of bold choices that would redefine our understanding of the universe. In 1895, determined to follow his passion for science, Einstein took the entrance exam for the Swiss Federal Polytechnic School in Zurich. While he excelled in the mathematics and physics sections, his scores in other subjects were not high enough to secure admission. Undeterred, he enrolled at the cantonal school in Aarau, Switzerland, to complete his secondary education. This decision proved to be transformative. The liberal and supportive educational environment in Aarau was a stark contrast to the rigid structure he experienced in Germany. Here, Einstein was encouraged to think independently and was exposed to a curriculum that included not only science and mathematics but also literature, philosophy, and the arts. This well-rounded education played a crucial role in shaping his intellectual outlook. In 1896, after completing his studies in Aarau, Einstein was finally admitted to the Swiss Federal Polytechnic School in Zurich. He renounced his German citizenship to avoid mandatory military service, a decision that marked the beginning of his life as a stateless individual, a status he would maintain until 1901, when he became a Swiss citizen. At just 17 years old, Einstein was now on the path to becoming one of the greatest minds in history. His early years were marked by a combination of intellectual curiosity, unconventional thinking, and a deep-seated desire to understand the mysteries of the universe. Little did the world know that this young, rebellious student would soon revolutionize physics and leave a lasting impact on science and humanity. The journey of a genius is rarely straightforward, and Albert Einstein's path was filled with twists and turns that would shape his future. After being accepted into the Swiss Federal Polytechnic School in Zurich in 1896, Einstein embarked on his studies with a deep focus on physics and mathematics. However, contrary to what one might expect, his academic performance was not stellar across the board. Einstein excelled in courses that encouraged independent thinking, such as theoretical physics, but he struggled with the more rigid and traditional aspects of his curriculum. Imagine being a professor grading the exams of a young Einstein and dismissing his work as lacking discipline. Little did these educators know that the student they underestimated would go on to revolutionize science in just a few short years. During his time at the Polytechnic, Einstein formed a close bond with Mila van Merrick, the only woman in his physics class. Mila was a brilliant mathematician in her own right, and the two engaged in intellectual debates and discussions that pushed the boundaries of their understanding. Their relationship was unconventional for the era, as they were intellectual equals who supported each other's scientific pursuits. Many historians believe Mila played a significant role in Einstein's early work, contributing ideas and calculations during their discussions. Despite his passion for science, Einstein's unconventional approach to learning did not sit well with his professors. He frequently skipped lectures, preferring to study independently or engage in deep conversations with his close-knit group of friends, including mathematician Marcel Grossmann. Grossmann, who was a diligent note-taker, often shared his lecture notes with Einstein, helping him prepare for exams. In 1900, Einstein graduated from the Polytechnic with a teaching diploma, but he did not receive any academic recommendations for a teaching position due to his strained relationships with his professors. Without a job prospect in academia, Einstein faced a challenging period of unemployment, applying unsuccessfully for various teaching posts. During this time, he continued to work on his scientific ideas, developing early concepts that would later become part of his groundbreaking theories. By 1902, Einstein's struggles led him to a low-level job at the Swiss Patent Office in Bern. Although it seemed like an unlikely place for a future scientific icon, this job became a pivotal turning point in his career. As a patent examiner, Einstein was responsible for evaluating new inventions. This role required him to assess complex technical ideas and think critically about their underlying principles, a skill that would prove invaluable in his later theoretical work. Imagine a young scientist, frustrated by the lack of academic opportunities, finding himself in a small office surrounded by patent applications. Yet, it was in this unassuming setting that Einstein would start piecing together the concepts that would lead to his theories of space, time, and energy. The quiet environment of the patent office allowed Einstein ample time to think and develop his ideas. In his spare time, he delved into scientific papers and conducted thought experiments, a method he famously used to explore complex physical concepts. These thought experiments, or Gedankenexperimente as he called them in German, allowed him to visualize scenarios like riding alongside a beam of light, leading him to question the nature of light and motion. In 1903, Einstein married Mileva Merrick, and together they faced the challenges of a modest lifestyle. Despite the financial difficulties, their intellectual partnership flourished, with Mileva providing feedback and support as Einstein refined his theories. Their first son, Hans Albert Einstein, was born in 1904, adding a new layer of responsibility and motivation for Einstein to secure a more stable career. Little did Einstein know that the following year, 1905, would be remembered as his Annus Mirabilis, or miracle year. During this time, while still working at the patent office, he would publish a series of groundbreaking papers that would forever alter the landscape of modern physics. It's hard to believe that one of the most pivotal moments in scientific history took place not in a grand university or research lab, but in a quiet, dimly lit office in Bern, Switzerland. What was Einstein about to reveal to the world? The answer would shock the scientific community and reshape our understanding of the universe. This period marked the end of Einstein's struggles as an unknown academic and the beginning of his rise as a prominent figure in the scientific world. His perseverance, despite the lack of recognition, is a testament to his unwavering belief in his ideas and his determination to pursue them against all odds. The year 1905 is often hailed as one of the most remarkable in the history of science. For Albert Einstein, it was his Annus Mirabilis, or miracle year, a period during which he published 4 groundbreaking papers in the scientific journal Annalen der Physik. These papers would not only catapult Einstein into the spotlight, but also revolutionize the field of physics. Imagine a young patent clerk with no formal academic position, shaking the very foundations of science with 4 revolutionary ideas in just 1 year. How could one man, almost unknown in the scientific community, transform our understanding of the universe so dramatically? The first of these papers, titled On a Heuristic Viewpoint Concerning the Production and Transformation of Light, introduced the concept of the photoelectric effect. In this work, Einstein proposed that light is not only a wave but also behaves as if it consists of discrete packets of energy, later called photons. This groundbreaking idea provided crucial evidence for the quantum theory, challenging the classical view of light as a continuous wave. It was this discovery that eventually earned him the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1921, not his theory of relativity as many believe. Following the photoelectric effect paper, Einstein published his second major work on Brownian motion. This paper, titled On the Motion of Small Particles Suspended in Liquids at Rest Required by the Molecular Kinetic Theory of Heat, offered empirical evidence for the existence of atoms and molecules. At a time when the atomic theory was still a subject of debate, Einstein's explanation of Brownian motion provided clear proof of the atomic nature of matter. This work helped to solidify the idea that matter is composed of tiny particles, a concept now fundamental to all of chemistry and physics. Imagine the world of science grappling with the very concept of atoms, and then comes a young physicist who provides undeniable proof of their existence. Einstein's paper on Brownian motion would be the definitive answer to skeptics and lay the groundwork for modern molecular physics. The third paper, perhaps the most famous, introduced the special theory of relativity. In On the Electrodynamics of Moving Bodies, Einstein proposed a revolutionary idea: the laws of physics are the same for all observers in uniform motion, and the speed of light is constant regardless of the observer's frame of reference. This radical concept overturned centuries of scientific thought, challenging the very nature of space and time. He argued that time could slow down or speed up depending on the observer's relative speed, a concept now known as time dilation. This theory culminated in Einstein's fourth and final paper of the year, a brief but profound piece titled "Does the Inertia of a Body Depend Upon Its Energy Content?" In it, he introduced the famous equation E makes 2, which posits that energy and mass are interchangeable. This equation demonstrated that a tiny amount of mass could be converted into a massive amount of energy, laying the theoretical foundation for nuclear power and atomic bombs. Imagine redefining one of the most fundamental laws of physics with just a few lines of text. With E makes 2, Einstein forever changed our understanding of energy and matter, opening doors to technologies we now rely on every day, from nuclear power plants to the intricate workings of the universe. The sheer brilliance of these 4 papers, each introducing a groundbreaking concept, left the scientific community astounded. In a single year, Einstein had provided the foundation for quantum mechanics, confirmed the existence of atoms, reshaped our understanding of space and time, and unveiled the profound relationship between energy and mass. But despite these achievements, Einstein's success was not immediate. His ideas faced skepticism, and acceptance was slow in coming. Many established physicists found it difficult to accept revolutionary theories proposed by an obscure patent clerk with no formal academic appointment. Imagine presenting the most groundbreaking ideas of the century and having them dismissed simply because of where you worked. Einstein faced this challenge head-on, and it was only a matter of time before his theories would be recognized for their transformative impact on science. By the end of 1905, Einstein had laid the groundwork for his future contributions to physics, including his later development of the general theory of relativity. His miracle year would forever be remembered as a turning point, not just in his life but in the entire history of science. After the revolutionary success of his 1905 papers, Albert Einstein did not rest on his laurels. He continued to explore the nature of space, time, and gravity, pushing the boundaries of physics even further. By 1915, after nearly a decade of rigorous work, Einstein presented his general theory of relativity, a theory that would change our understanding of gravity and the universe itself. What if I told you that gravity is not a force pulling objects together, but rather a warping of space and time itself? Einstein's new theory would not only redefine gravity but would also predict phenomena that seemed unimaginable. Unlike Newton's classical view of gravity as a force between masses, Einstein's theory proposed that gravity is the result of massive objects like stars and planets bending the fabric of space-time. The more massive the object, the greater the curve, causing other objects to follow curved paths around it. This concept was visually described as a heavy ball placed on a stretched rubber sheet, where smaller balls would roll towards the depression created by the heavy ball. The real test of Einstein's theory came in 1919, during a total solar eclipse. Astronomers observed that the light from stars passing close to the sun was bent, following the curved space-time around the sun, exactly as Einstein had predicted. This was a monumental confirmation of his theory. Imagine waiting years for a single moment to prove your theory, and when the solar eclipse finally occurs, the universe aligns in your favor. The world would witness a scientific revelation like never before. When the results of the eclipse experiment were published, Einstein became an instant celebrity. Headlines around the globe celebrated his triumph. The London Times declared, "Revolution in science, new theory of the universe, Newtonian ideas overthrown." For the first time, a physicist was recognized as a global icon, a rare occurrence in a field often shrouded in academic obscurity. Einstein's fame was not limited to the scientific community. He became a symbol of intellectual achievement, celebrated for his profound insights and unique personality. Despite his rising stardom, he remained committed to his work, lecturing around the world and contributing to the burgeoning field of quantum mechanics, even though he was skeptical of some of its implications. How did a theoretical physicist, with his wild hair and eccentric mannerisms, become a household name, inspiring awe and curiosity across the globe? Einstein's journey from an unknown clerk to the face of modern science is a story of relentless pursuit and groundbreaking discovery. His contributions to science earned him numerous accolades, including the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1921. Interestingly, it was not for his theories of relativity, but for his explanation of the photoelectric effect, further demonstrating the breadth of his impact on physics. The prize money provided him financial security, but Einstein chose to give the funds to his first wife, Mila Merrick, as part of their divorce agreement, a testament to his unique personal life. As the 1920s progressed, Einstein's theories continued to be tested and validated, reinforcing his status as one of the greatest minds in history. However, with his growing fame came scrutiny. He was often in the public eye, giving interviews, lectures, and sharing his thoughts on a variety of topics, including science, philosophy, and social issues. What was it about Einstein that made him not only a scientific genius, but also a beloved public figure, someone whose very name became synonymous with brilliance? The answer lies not just in his theories, but in the man himself, a visionary who saw beyond the limits of conventional thinking. Despite the public acclaim, Einstein never lost sight of his pursuit of deeper scientific understanding. He continued to develop his ideas, even attempting to formulate a unified theory that would encompass all fundamental forces of nature. Although this quest would remain unfinished, it showcased his lifelong passion for exploring the mysteries of the universe. Einstein's general theory of relativity was more than just a scientific breakthrough, it was a turning point that changed how we perceive the cosmos. It laid the foundation for modern astrophysics and opened up new avenues of research into black holes, gravitational waves, and the expanding universe. By the end of the 1920s, Albert Einstein had become more than just a scientist. He was a global icon, a symbol of intellectual curiosity and human potential. But as the world plunged into the turmoil of the 1930s, Einstein would find himself at the center of political and social challenges, forced to make difficult choices that would alter the course of his life forever. By the early 1930s, the world was changing rapidly, and Albert Einstein found himself caught in the political upheavals of the time. The rise of the Nazi regime in Germany posed a direct threat to Jewish citizens, and Einstein, being of Jewish descent, was no exception. Despite his towering reputation, or perhaps because of it, he became a target for anti-Semitic propaganda. The Nazis branded his theories as Jewish physics, attempting to discredit his groundbreaking work. Imagine being a world-renowned scientist celebrated for your contributions, only to be vilified and hunted by your own country. How did Einstein respond to this growing threat, and what choices did he make that would change the course of his life? In 1933, as Adolf Hitler seized power, Einstein made the difficult decision to leave Germany. He renounced his German citizenship and accepted a position at the Institute for Advanced Study in Princeton, New Jersey. This move marked a new chapter in his life, one that would intertwine his scientific pursuits with a growing role in social and political advocacy. Upon arriving in the United States, Einstein quickly became an outspoken critic of fascism and the Nazi regime. He was one of the earliest and most prominent figures to warn the world about the dangers of Hitler's rise to power. He used his platform to speak out against racial and religious discrimination, not only in Europe but also in America, where he openly criticized racial segregation. What made Einstein, a man devoted to the mysteries of the universe, step into the turbulent world of political activism? His journey from scientist to social advocate is a testament to his unwavering commitment to justice and human rights. Einstein's advocacy did not stop with speeches and articles. He played a key role in supporting Jewish refugees fleeing persecution in Europe, helping them find safety in the United States. Despite his discomfort with public speaking, he delivered numerous addresses, raising funds and awareness for the cause. His actions during this time showed a different side of Einstein, a man deeply concerned with the plight of others and willing to use his influence for their benefit. But his political involvement was not without consequence. Einstein was closely monitored by the FBI, which suspected him of being a potential communist sympathizer due to his left-leaning views and his connections with various civil rights groups. A 1,800-page file was compiled on him, filled with reports of his activities and associations. However, these suspicions did little to deter him from speaking out against tyranny and injustice. Why would a physicist known for his revolutionary theories become a target of the FBI? What secrets did his file hold, and how did Einstein navigate the suspicion and scrutiny of the American government? During this period, Einstein's scientific work continued, but his focus shifted slightly. He was no longer just a physicist, he had become a public figure, a voice against oppression and a champion of civil liberties. He was invited to the White House, met with world leaders, and corresponded with influential figures across the globe. Yet, despite the limelight, Einstein remained a humble, approachable person, known for his kind demeanor and his disheveled appearance, a stark contrast to his brilliant mind. In 1939, with the world on the brink of war, Einstein made one of the most significant decisions of his life. Concerned about the potential of Nazi Germany developing atomic weapons, he co-signed a letter to President Franklin D. Roosevelt, urging the United States to accelerate its own atomic research. This letter would lay the groundwork for the Manhattan Project, the secret U.S. initiative to develop nuclear weapons. How did a pacifist like Einstein become involved in the creation of the most destructive weapon in human history? The story behind the letter that sparked the Manhattan Project is a complex tale of fear, responsibility, and the pursuit of peace. Einstein later expressed deep regret for his role in the project, as the devastation caused by the atomic bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki weighed heavily on his conscience. He would spend the final years of his life advocating for nuclear disarmament and global peace, hoping to undo the damage that had been done. Einstein's decision to move to the United States was more than just a change of residence, it was a turning point that would redefine his legacy. No longer was he merely a scientist, he had become a humanitarian, using his fame and intellect to fight against the injustices of the world. As we approach the final chapters of his life, we see a man who, despite the acclaim and accolades, remained committed to a greater cause. His journey from Germany to the United States was not just a physical relocation, but a profound transformation in his role as a global citizen and advocate for humanity. Einstein's story is far from over. His later years would be marked by continued efforts to unite the world through science and diplomacy, leaving behind a legacy that extends far beyond his equations and theories. How did he spend his final years, and what lasting impact did he leave on the world of science and beyond? As the chaos of World War II subsided, the world emerged into a new era, one that was profoundly shaped by scientific innovation, political shifts, and the looming threat of nuclear weapons. For Albert Einstein, the post-war years were a time of reflection, advocacy, and continued pursuit of knowledge. What does a scientific genius do after helping to shape the course of history? Einstein's later years were marked by unexpected alliances, bold political statements, and relentless efforts to bridge the gap between science and society. In the years following the war, Einstein became an ardent supporter of nuclear disarmament. Haunted by the devastation caused by the atomic bomb, he was vocal about the need for international control over nuclear weapons. He famously remarked, "I do not know with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones." This sentiment reflected his deep fears about the future of humanity in the atomic age. How did a man who once warned of the dangers of nuclear weapons grapple with their existence? His fears of a world destroyed by human invention became a central theme of his advocacy in his final years. Einstein was not just concerned about the physical weapons of war, but also the ideological battles that had begun to shape the post-war world. The onset of the Cold War brought a new kind of tension, one driven by political ideologies and the ever-present risk of nuclear conflict. Despite being one of America's most famous residents, Einstein did not shy away from criticizing U.S. policies, particularly during the era of McCarthyism, which saw many intellectuals and activists accused of communist sympathies. Einstein himself was under surveillance, his outspoken nature and left-leaning politics making him a target for suspicion. Yet he remained undeterred. He continued to write, lecture, and advocate for peace, understanding, and the pursuit of knowledge beyond borders. Even under the watchful eye of the FBI, Einstein's voice never wavered. How did he challenge the rising tide of fear and paranoia during America's most politically charged era? One of Einstein's most significant contributions during this time was his support for civil rights. He developed a close friendship with African-American civil rights leader W.E.B. Du Bois, openly criticizing racial segregation in the United States. When Du Bois was indicted for failing to register as a foreign agent, Einstein offered to be a character witness, a gesture that likely helped in having the case dismissed. Additionally, Einstein maintained a friendship with African-American singer Marian Anderson and was known to host her at his home when she faced discrimination in hotels. His stance against racial injustice highlighted his belief in equality and his willingness to use his status to challenge systemic issues. Why would one of the greatest minds in science stand alongside civil rights activists? Einstein's actions during this period show a man not just of great intellect but of deep empathy and moral conviction. As Einstein aged, his scientific pursuits continued, but he found himself wrestling with one of the most significant challenges of his career, unifying the fundamental forces of physics into a single, cohesive theory. This quest, known as the unified field theory, consumed much of his later work. Despite numerous attempts and theories, Einstein was never able to complete this endeavor. It remains one of the great unsolved puzzles in physics, a testament to the ambitious nature of his intellect. Imagine dedicating the final decades of your life to solving one of the universe's greatest mysteries, only to leave it unfinished. What drove Einstein's relentless search for a unified theory, and why does it still captivate physicists today? Einstein's health began to decline in the early 1950s. Despite his deteriorating condition, he continued to work, correspond, and engage in scientific discussions. In 1955, he experienced an abdominal aortic aneurysm, a condition that was ultimately fatal. When doctors offered to operate, he refused, stating it is tasteless to prolong life artificially. "I have done my share, it is time to go. I will do it elegantly." On April 18, 1955, Albert Einstein passed away at the age of 76. His brain was removed for study, a controversial decision that has sparked much debate over the years. Scientists hope to uncover the secrets of his genius, but no definitive answers have been found. Even in death, Einstein's legacy sparked curiosity and controversy. What did scientists hope to learn from his brain? And why has it become a symbol of the search for genius? Today, Albert Einstein is remembered not just for his scientific achievements, but for his profound impact on humanity. His theories revolutionized our understanding of the universe, while his activism laid the groundwork for future generations to fight for equality, peace, and justice. The Einstein archives continue to be a source of inspiration, containing thousands of documents that offer a glimpse into the mind of one of history's greatest thinkers. Einstein's story is a powerful reminder that true genius is not just about intellectual achievement, but also about using one's influence to make the world a better place. His legacy lives on in the countless scientists, activists, and dreamers who continue to be inspired by his life and work. From the humble beginnings of a curious child in Germany to becoming the face of modern physics, Albert Einstein's journey is one of perseverance, brilliance, and compassion. His contributions to science and society have shaped the modern world, leaving a legacy that will be remembered for centuries to come. If you found Einstein's story as fascinating as we did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more in-depth biographies of the world's most influential figures. Join us as we explore the lives of those who changed the course of history.